Hi there, this is Todd Wall with FPVLive.tv. We're here in Miami, Florida. I'm here with Nelson, who's with Gravity Goons, otherwise known as Cruel FPV, right? Correct. And we've got Chris Thomas here, who is the founder of MultiGP. The reason we're here in sunny, hot Miami, Florida is the 2016 MultiGP 2B division, I should say, finals, right? Correct? Yep. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so what's happened is we've had a series of regional qualifiers where pilots around Florida have competed and have qualified to come to this event. From here, the pilots will earn an opportunity, if they rank high enough, to get to the championship. That'll be happening September 3rd and 4th in Muncie, Indiana.
Okay. All right, super. So it's kind of a staging for a bigger event, right? Those qualifiers, so let's talk about the Muncie, Indiana event. That's going to happen, when again?
September 3rd will be an opportunity for some of the invitational positions.
45 seconds, pilots, 45.
For the finals, and then the 4th will be the actual championship.
Gotcha. Super. Okay, so we've got Nelson here, who is one of the primary organizers for this event. Nelson, I'm going to hand you the microphone if you wouldn't mind talking a little bit about the setup of this event, and maybe let's move into the course description a little bit. How about that?
So
15
like,
seconds,
Chris said,
pilots.
This has been a qualifiers that we've been doing all for the last 4 or 5 months, pretty much throughout the state of Florida. We started in Brevard. We've done Orlando. We did Miami. We went back to Brevard to do that makeup.
One to go for Davis D. That's
and
lap
now we're moving
7.
on
Let's get
to,
7 in.
This is the divisional final, like you said, and it's going into the championship, which is in Indiana. So I would say that's, the very, it's a real ladder as far as tournaments and championships, and we're definitely going to find out who the best of the best is, because we're starting from the club level to the city level to the divisional level all the way up to the national level. So pretty much, yeah.
Super. Okay, so I tell you what, let's
Davis
talk
D,
about the
7
pilot
laps,
bios and the
250.
heats. How about that? So
Your
we get
first
our
to
cheat
7.
sheet out here for a second.
I'll take the microphone while you flip through there.
Nubs, 5 laps.
We're going to
and
start by
247.
going from
Race 6.
heat,
We're set for
heat
you.
to heat. Talk about heat 1, the pilots who are in that heat. The way the skill levels ranked, basically due to how the pilots qualified, the first heat for the guys who had the lowest qualification standing, qualifying standing, all the way to the last heat, which were the guys who qualified the highest. So you'll see an increase probably in speed and consistency as we go through the heats. So starting here at the first, we have heat 1, which is going to be John Cruz. He's a local down here in Miami, right?
He's one of the Gravity Goons. He's flying with us. So he's in heat 1.
We have Sean Morrison, who's a UBAD pilot out of Orlando. Sean has almost killed me a couple of times in our experience of hanging out. Citra FPV, he's also in the group. Josh Slager, who's flying a Voodoo. He's also an Orlando guy, right? Yeah, since he qualified, it's amazing to see these pilots, how much faster they get. We've also got Angelo Rios, who's out of Volusia. Volusia FPV is a pretty new chapter that's just now getting going. So that makes up what we've got in Heat 1. Going to turn the page. Heat 2 is William Anzunto. He's also one of the organizers here. He likes to dance, so if you see anybody on camera dancing, that's probably William. He actually won a dance-off against Nelson, which was surprising. It was a twerking contest, and William won. And if you guys stay tuned, you might get a chance to see a little bit of that.
If we get enough Twitch votes, or you guys comment on Twitch, maybe I'll think about it.
So Dr. C is going to be in the second heat. He is the one of the team pilots for Atmospheric Adventures, one of the owners of Atmospheric Adventures as well. Andre Reck, known as Racing Soul here, he qualified with us at the Cave Race in Virginia. He's going to be in that heat. We have Mad Dust, who is Harold. I saw Harold yesterday. He was on a team that did phenomenal in the team races. I was really impressed. So, yeah, he did really well. Moving on to Heat 3, we've got Fretzman.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fretzman here, and that's Jose Preta, correct?
He's also one of our local
okay.
Here in Miami.
And he's flying a Lumineer QAV-R, right? But he's Rotorhead's team pilot, correct? Yep. And then we got Blink. That's Tyler Brennan. And Colorado, yeah?
Yep, he's in from Colorado.
All right. Super. Yeah. That's another thing about these regional finals. People are coming in from We have 2 guys that came in from out of state because they qualified in their regionals, but for whatever reason they couldn't make it to their regional finals. So we opened up our doors to let them to qualify here. But that was the thing, is it's always the same course throughout the nation. So
So it really doesn't matter. I mean, that's the whole purpose and point of having a standardized course, right, Chris?
You got it. So the regional qualifiers was not standardized, but the final track is the same everywhere.
Got it. Okay, super. So let's move down the line here. We got Herbie Lewis. He is team pilot for Revolution Aerial. Greg Schultz.
Hey, Greg is actually a local in Brevard, and he's flying for Atmospheric Adventures. Tori Sims, who Tori, just so you know, is the 3rd member of MultiGP. He's been in it from the very beginning. He's from Orlando, also flying for Atmospheric Adventures. Heat 4, we've got Realize, Frank, which Frank was at the championships last year, and his progression has been amazing. He is now a very high contender in this race. Nilberto, same way. He's an Orlando pilot known by Hyper Neil. He's one of the original rotor races flying for UBAD. Alan, which we called him Sandbag, or Hovering Sandbag when he first began. He's now fast enough to be competing here today. We've got Patrick, who is known by Space Cowboy. Patrick just came out of nowhere and was fast from the very beginning. We've also got Code Red, Cody Madsen. He's a crowd favorite, always doing something to make people laugh or cry or something to just elicit emotion. He's flying today for Lumineer, as one of the Lumineer-sponsored pilots. Moving on, we've got Heat 5, Davis Drake. He's a Brevard local. Started recently, and for me, I kind of gauge pilots based on how I can beat him, and I don't think I ever have beat him on the course. He's a really good pilot. Flying for Atmo and Voodoo. David Garcia, which David Garcia is known as the man from Miami who does not know how to slow down. He flies ridiculously fast. Sergio Herrera, I met for the first time at the qualifier. Extremely consistent, extremely fast. Really excited to see what he's going to do. Nelson Aquino, he's a decent pilot.
We don't know much about that guy.
He's a Gravity Goons pilot.
I'm organizing more than flying. I'm just here to.
He's trying to make excuses is what's really happening.
Exactly.
He should do good. We've got Anthony Nubs Rosado. Maybe on camera he'll tell you why we call him Nubs. He's a Gravity Goons pilot. Finally, our Heat 6, which is our fastest qualified pilots. We've got Eamon Kelly. He is a raw talent here from Miami, ridiculously fast. Just the question is, can he control that speed? We have Abel, who's probably the most decorated pilot here
pilot,
in
stand
Florida.
by.
He goes by Navahawk. These guys are queuing up for a practice round right now.
Pilots, arm your
We've got
quads.
McFly, who's flying for
So we go
Lumineer.
live on the tail
Extremely fast,
in less
extremely
than
consistent.
5.
But also, you've got Joel Brown, who in Florida set the first 19-second lap that we recorded, extremely fast. And then Kabla. Kabla has come out of nowhere as well. For us, he raced in the qualifier for the first time and just killed it. So those guys are up now doing great. He's flying for Lumineer.
Super. Well, thanks for that recap there, Chris and Nelson. Let's talk about the course, right? Let's go into the course and discuss kind of the assets and the differences and how it relates to maybe a qualifying course or some of the other time trial type courses. So who wants to go with that? Who wants to lead with that? Chris?
Sure. Yeah, so the regional final course has been designed in conjunction with several people. Greg Novosad, also known as the creator of Go Drone X, he helped us a lot here. The course starts where the pilots launch and travel through the start gate, then through a really tight hairpin turn. So between 2 flags, which is pretty difficult because you're going full speed, and then you've got to pull through those flags. Back around and through the bottom of the tower that's out on the course, through a gate that's mounted at a 90-degree angle, and back to the top of the tower. Then you're forced downwards into the Air Force gate. You fly around the Horizon Hobby flag, back through the atmospheric gate, and then through a slalom between atmospheric flags to the final course feature, which is the carousel. The carousel is something we love to use because it really restricts your ability. You've got to find the right line and stay at it in order to carry good speed through that.
So, so on that note, let's kind of move into the race format, right? This is a points race, right? We got $2,500 up in cash and prizes, with $1,000 going to the first place winner, and $1,000, correct? I got you. So $1,000 split for the fastest lap. 500 for the first, 300 for, okay, gotcha, all the way down until we consume the $1,000. So everybody's got a chance to go home with some cash. correct? Okay, super. So let's talk about the points aspect. Is that going to be you, Chris? Yes?
So we have a very simple format that sort of reaches back to the origins of how MultiGP got started. We want to make an easy format. This is
20
still a
seconds,
qualifying
pilots,
event.
20
We're
seconds.
qualifying people
Kablah
for
is
the
going to go on
championships.
to lap number
So
7
pilots
here in
will
a
come
moment.
to the line. We will start a race, and when the race begins, a timer with 2 minutes and 30 seconds starts. For every lap that they complete, they
On
get
to
a point.
7, we
When the
take
time is
Kablah.
completed, they finish whatever lap that they're on. So your best laps you're going to see is probably 7
That's
points in a
2:30,
race.
2:30. Race to the line,
Maybe
race to the
8.
line.
We've
Joel
not
B, you're
seen
done
anybody
6
fast
laps,
enough, but that
2:33.
we may
Missed it
see
by
that happen today.
3.4.
Right. So we'll then take the cumulative number of points, and that'll be the ranking. The pilot with the most points will win. If we get a tie, we will do a head-to-head battle for propellers, and that'll be the tiebreaker. The pilot who gets first place will definitely make it into the championship. Outside of that, we'll take and start ranking pilots based on their 3 best rounds and their fastest single lap. The top 16 pilots, based on all of our qualifiers, automatically
And
get in.
Kablah, 7
The
laps,
next 60 get an
2:43.
invite to come out and try
Very
to qualify.
nice.
So it's a pretty
Very nice.
tough championship to get into.
There's a lot of ways to get in, but not all of them. There's a lot of ways to get in, but not all of them are simple. And the worse you do, the harder it becomes. But if you can overcome that, I guess one of the reasons behind that is because some people might not do well today, but in 2 months, like we've seen some people progress here, they might be rock stars. So we're giving them that opportunity to be able to prove themselves in September, which is a world away in this world. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, stick time is the key, right, for practice and execution and for delivering. Just like we talked about some of those pilot profiles, they've come a long way since the beginning, barely getting off the ground, some of them, and now they're competing neck and neck or prop and prop. So.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and bow out, let you guys do a little bit more talking here, and start getting the pilots ready for their briefing before we start the races.
Super. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate your help and assistance here. Nelson, you got anything further to say?
No, I just want to let everybody know out there, thank you to our sponsors, to Lumineer, Atmospheric Adventures, Horizon Hobby. For the first time, we have the U.S. Air Force sponsoring our event. Yeah, excellent. So we have the military sponsoring a drone race.
Hey, they're a perfect fit. You know what I mean? All about the Air Force. Drones, heck, couldn't get a better match, right?
So, like I said, yeah, of course. I mean, that's what's really here. So we have, like I said, Lumineer, Horizon Hobby, Maniacs Hobby, which is a local shop.
Black Diamond.
Black Diamond Funding. All our sponsors will be mentioned throughout the day. Just we want to make sure everybody out there supports their local hobby shop and the big sponsors, so that way they can get more and more of these events out there.
And we really appreciate that sponsorship to support FPV as a sport. Like you know, this is still a new sport. Exciting, excellent, and so go and share. Yeah, share the love. Exactly, absolutely.
The more people the more sponsors look at this stuff. They look at how many times has this video been viewed. If they see that we have a lot of shares, you'll get more and more sponsorships coming in. We're seeing Mountain Dew come in. We'll see Budweiser come in. We'll see all these people come in because they see that there's a market for it. So we have to make that market if we want to make the sport.
Absolutely. So all the pilots here are consumers as well. So we support those sponsors wholeheartedly. We kind of know where our bread is buttered, for sure. The other thing I wanted to mention that for today on FPVLive.tv or Twitch.tv/FPVLive or on the YouTube channel, YouTube/FPVLive, if you guys out there are supporting the chat and interacting with us, we're going to offer up a Lumineer, an immersion, immersion RC Vortex to be given away to some lucky participant out in the crowd that is active in social media, promoting the live stream and interacting with us in the chat. So I've got a Lumineer pilot here, Cody Code Red. He's going to come in. Let's chat with him. Come on up here, Cody, if you don't mind. Sure, man. You can stand right there. Cody, how are you doing today, man?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. So if you don't know already, which most of you probably do, is Cody flies for Lumineer. Any other products or sponsors that help you out?
Yeah, I do GemFam, JR radios, and Pulse batteries.
Excellent. Okay, that rounds it out. That's not too bad. That gets you some good parts on the list there that are used on a routine basis on any quad. So today, what are you flying today, specifically, as far as an airframe, kind of the make, model, and the layout?
Sure. Today I'm flying a prototype X frame from Lumineer that'll be coming out on the market here real soon. It's I think it's a 220. It's their first true X. It has a really nice GoPro mount on it, so it's a really diverse frame. It takes a shot and it handles really well. So.
Gotcha. So 4 mil, I think is what it was when I saw it earlier. Yep. What kind of motors are you running and ESCs? And
My favorite motors are the 2206, 2350 kV Lumineer motors. You can't go wrong with them. They're fantastic.
That's excellent. So ESC, flight controller. I guess everybody wants to know what flight controllers are being flown today.
I prefer the Lux flight controller. It has a lot of new options now. It just handles great, and it's my flight controller preference.
Gotcha. And so are you a tri-blade guy or a dual blade guy?
I turned into a tri-blade guy. I was a dual blade for a while, but the tri-blades, they just track so much better than the dual blades.
Super.
You don't have the top end speed, but it handles so much better.
Yeah, so I mean, you get the reaction at it pretty quick, I guess, right? And would you say tri-blades are a lot of the freestylists like tri-blades, right?
Yeah, I love them both. I'm kind of a freestyle guy trying to make it here in the racing community. So, yeah, for everything, that's...
Well, there's certainly some crossover. If you look out on the diagram and later today as the live stream happens, you'll notice that we've got some three-dimensional aspect to the course, high up, low down. And some of these guys will do flips or turns to switch back into the gates, right?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, the fastest way to lose altitude is to do a flip and give it a little throttle,
Exactly. So throttle down, throttle up to go down, right? When you're upside down, absolutely. So what did you do to kind of practice for this? Did you have access to the layout of this course ahead of time?
No, I mean, I really didn't practice the course that much. What I do is I just routinely go out at least twice a week, set up my own course, and just run as many packs through as I can. So,
excellent. Well, you know what? It's stick time and burn it through packs. We've talked to a lot of pilots over the last year, I guess, since we've been around, and it seems to be the order of the day is the more packs you can burn and the more stick time you can get, the better off you're going to be, the more responsive and attuned to your build, right?
yes, that's 100% correct. Absolutely.
So if you had any suggestions for anybody getting into this sport, anything specific that you could kind of offer up as, hey, this is what I suggest?
Yeah, buy a ton of batteries and a ton of props and just fly as much as you can. Get over the awkwardness and just keep flying.
Yep. Exactly. Any particular flight simulator that you use?
I've never used a flight simulator.
Hey, well, that answers that question right there. There's nothing better than the real thing, So, but you get virtual and reality in combination in that deal. So, well, we appreciate Lumineer being the presenting sponsor, and we appreciate you contributing to that team and showing up today. We look forward to some excellent racing on your part, and hopefully you can break that 20-second mark for the.
Yeah, I'm third fastest right now, so I'm coming for him.
What was your fastest time?
Couldn't tell you. They just said I was number 3. So
I think it was 22 something, 22.8. So, but a couple seconds there you can shave off. Look forward to seeing what you can do today. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate it. All right.
great job, guys.
All right, so we're going to be staging here for Abel Navihawk. Come in here, buddy. Look at you, all decked out. We got your quad here. Abel, just introduce yourself and kind of let me know how long you've been flying.
My name's Abel. I go by Navihawk. I've been flying RCs for about 10 years, racing for about a year and a half now.
All right, super. Racing for a year and a half, and that was only in quads, right? So is that your first experience with quads?
No, I did bigger quads, 450 size and 550s for about a year and a half before. Mostly autopilot stuff, but every once in a while I take it through some trees and have some fun with it,
On accident or on purpose?
Both, a little bit of both, yeah.
So, but ultimately the close proximity FPV aspect came with the micros, right, or the minis?
Yeah, the minis. Once I remember when the Blackout first came out, we all looked at it first it's kind of small, it's hard to fit everything. But then we saw them crashing and just get back up, and we're like, oh, man, this is too much fun. Yeah, big ones, we always kept breaking everything.
Absolutely. So Abel, you're a team pilot for?
Atmospheric Adventures. I fly with them. I've been flying recently. There's a new prototype that's going to be out pretty soon. It's called the Abracadabra. It's one of the longer X-frames, so it gives you better tracking in the pitch axis. So right now,
that looks good.
Right now it's running the 3mm plate. It normally comes in 4, but, team pilots try to get every little advantage they can, so they make the smaller, lighter weight.
The reason picking 3mm, in case you're wondering, is the weight advantage, of course, right?
Yeah, a lot lighter than, it's about 20-something grams lighter than the 4mm one.
And this has got a little bit different standoff. Normally you would see aluminum or nylon standoffs possibly for a top plate. Instead, we got a sandwich going on here with two 3-millimeter side-by-side plates and then one tail plate, I guess, to hold the VTX in, correct?
Yes, keeps your, the main area where VTX's break is right there at the SMA connector. So it has a little extension here where it keeps your antenna locked in and you zip tie it.
If you can see that, I'm not sure. I don't know.
You don't have to worry about breaking your antennas. That's usually the worst thing. You're flying, you hit something, and whole antenna goes flying out, and that's it.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're running tri-blades today. Yeah. Is this like a stretched X, I guess is where
Yeah, it's longer lengthwise than sideways. So it's a little bit longer. Yeah, it makes it more stable in the pitch axis, but it still rolls really, really fast. There's a lot of companies now starting to come out with it. There was first H frames and came the X frames. Now a lot of companies are starting to move into the longer X frame.
Gotcha. So this is an underslung battery. We got what flight controller are you running here?
That one's got a Lux flight controller running at 8 kilohertz.
Gotcha. Cool. Super. And what ESCs are you running there?
Those are the UBAT Angry Beast 30s with multi-shot 14.5.
Now, are you sponsored by UBAT too or not? I can't remember. Am I? What?
I used to be part of UBAT, and then recently I switched over to Atmospheric Adventures.
And you're wearing a Spectrum, Team Spectrum t-shirt.
Yeah, other sponsors that I have is Pulse Batteries and Team Spectrum, part of their team too. So it's good. I've been flying Spectrums ever since they came out back in 2006, I think it was. And I've never flown. I've bought it, Tyrannus, I've used it, but Spectrum is just one of the best radios out there. It's easy to use, and they always continually upgrading this stuff. So, and they have a really good support for their team members.
Absolutely. And, the thing I've heard about Spectrum is the quality, like you say, consistency, and the pilots that are flying those tend to be dedicated, right, to those controllers. So you got them, dialed in, tuned, exactly what you need to get the reaction out of your quad. Is there anything that you can say that you've done to prepare for this race today?
I've ran the championship track a lot of times. I've been fortunate enough. I live real close to Melbourne, and the guys are very active, so they set it up a lot. So we last weekend I went Saturday, then we raced it in Orlando Sunday. We set it up, and then I went for 4th of July and burned about 25, 30 packs in Melbourne just to practice. Yeah, very lucky.
Yeah. Super. So we're going to look for some fast laps from you today, and hopefully you come out on top and win some of that cash and prizes. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. If not, I'm having a great time. The guys are doing a good time. They're running the event really smooth, and it's moving along. So we actually got three practice rounds, so they're doing a good job. Having fun.
Thank you, Abel. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you, buddy. Good luck to you, okay? Super. So in case you're just tuning in, we're here at the MultiGP 2016 Division 2B Finals in Miami, Florida. And this is also considered the Florida State Finals. Florida has a nice, unique group of FPV pilots, probably more in numbers than most of the other states out there. So we got a good turnout, good quality pilots, and looking forward to an excellent race today. Which
hey, Todd, can I interrupt you?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right, let me take the mic for a minute. I'm going to do a pilot briefing here with all the pilots.
Sounds good. Go for it, Chris. Thank you.
All right, guys. I got the mic. We can now do this. I need some attention in the pits. Cody, I need all the pilots over here. This is a mandatory safety briefing. I need all the pilots over here where I can look at them. That means you, Josh, guys over here. Back up. I need to be able to see all you. Back up a little bit, guys. Mark's getting real romantic. So about a year ago, I started this organization called MultiGP with the idea of making drone racing a real sport, and this is a historic moment in that. This weekend, we have 2 regional finals occurring. This is the largest ever racing series that's been created, and it's designed to let anybody participate and have those pilots work their way up to a championship. So I'm excited for you guys to be a part of this. Congratulations for making it this far in the event. And good luck today. It's very difficult because we have so many pilots now participating in this series. It's going to be very difficult for you to get a guaranteed spot into this championship. Let's talk about some of the rules, though, before we get started, the boring stuff. As far as safety, I don't think the mic likes safety. As far as safety is concerned, the bottom of this hill is our flight line. You do not cross that flight line for any reason. We only have one safety officer that's scheduled to be on the other side of that flight line during a race. There's no reason you should cross that. If we find you crossing that flight line, you will be removed from the race. So that would be a horrible way to lose this event today. Make sure that you're paying attention to that. As far as the racing format is concerned today, when you guys go to put your quads out, make sure you walk through our start gate. Wait until you hear a verbal cue that your timing has been registered. Let me get a little closer to the stand over here. Make sure that it's been registered. After that, put your quad down, return to your seat, pay attention to what's going on. We're going to try to turn these races over very quickly. We've done an excellent job through practice. When the race starts, it really matters. If you need to fix something between races, you better hurry because we're not going to wait. This series needs to happen. It's hot outside. We want to get it over with, but in case there's rain, in case people start passing out due to heat exhaustion, those things. Once the quads are put on the line, Scully's going to start the race with a tone. If you jump the tone, you're DQ'd. All right? Don't jump the tone. A couple of the rules that we discussed that we've discussed. Some of the rules that we've discussed. Some of the rules we discussed in the preparation for this. We want to make sure that it's fair for everybody. Once you give us a thumbs up for good video, you've given us a thumbs up for good video. If we see that someone plugs in or stomps on your video and we can actually see that on our DVR, not on your system, we will move you to another race. Outside of that, video problems are what they are. It's fair for everybody. We're not going to let one guy get a rerun and one other guy not get a rerun. If you have a video problem, you gave us thumbs up for good video, that's that. You've been running with the same group the entire time. So nothing should change in those variables. We can't control what happens. I hope you don't lose due to video, but we're not going to stop and keep recreating races if someone is having video problems. If you're not plugged to our ground stations, you're taking your own risks out there. You do whatever you want. Sean believes he's got the best system going. So you can be like Sean. As far as the race starting, when the race starts and we say go, that's it. You crash into people, sorry, it happens. There's no reruns. There's no restarts. The race begins. As the race goes, if you miss a gate or you miss a flag, you're required to turn back around. We have judges over here, one watching each pilot. If you miss a gate or you miss a flag and you don't go back, you'll be disqualified for that run. We're not going to tell you that you've missed anything. You can go as high as you want between those two flags. But if we can't tell if you made it and we say that you didn't make it, you have no way to question that. You can go as high as you want. If the judge thinks you didn't make the flag, you didn't make the flag. You just got disqualified. If you fly at or below the height of that flag, you can't make it and not hit the flag, right? So, any questions? You miss a gate? Go back. As far as